All right, here we go. Our objective for today: I can factor quadratic trinomials with leading coefficient greater than 1. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can factor quadratic trinomials with leading coefficient greater than 1. So, like I said, since we're done with the easy part of quadratics or quadratic trinomials, which was last week, we're moving on today. And you need to stay focused, please, pretty please. Okay? Here we go. Do we need a Ferrier model for quadratic trinomials? No. No, we already know what they are, right? Okay, just briefly tell your neighbor a definition for quadratic trinomials. All right, let's see. Did they say something like this? Something to the 3 terms and degree of 2? Yes. Example, non-examples, hashtags. We did that last week. We don't need that for today. But we do need steps. Last week, I said, I want you to pay attention to the process. You come up with the steps once you get home. And I hope you did the notes and you wrote down the process, because right now we're going to write the steps to see how we did. So, step number 1 and step number 2. Talk to your neighbor. What are the first 2 things we check for, please? Let's see, Justin, go. Standard form. And what else? That is correct. And find the GCF. Those 2 things are the most important part of factoring before you get started with any method or so. Once we have that, think about it. Check for standard form, GCF none. What did we do right after? Tell your neighbor, please. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Connor, what is the very first next thing we do?
Solve.
These are not equations, so we don't solve. Octavio.
You use the exponent.
That's correct. Power Rangers. So, draw a little diagram right next to it so that you know exactly what we're talking about. Now, we do that because we need specifically these 2 numbers right here. Remember those? Okay, we need those 2 in order to go to step 4. We need those 2 in order to go to step 4. So, what would we do for step 4 now that we did that? Talk it over with your neighbor, please. All right, go ahead, Ivan. That is correct. Substitute. We substitute those 2 numbers for the middle term of the trinomial, and it becomes a what? Rewrite the polynomial. So picture it. We started with a trinomial. We got the Power Rangers. We got those 2 numbers. We rewrote the trinomial. It became a polynomial, right? 4 terms now. Tell your neighbor what is the next thing we do for step 5. Ethan. Not really. Jessica. Factor by grouping. That is correct. So yeah, Jessica said group. That is correct. We group it in order for us to factor. Once we find our factors, what is the last step, everyone?
Check.
Check. What method do we use to check, everyone? That is correct. Area model. And that is the entire process. Okay? Now, if you think about it from what we started with at the beginning of the school year, remember the beginning of the school year we only had like 3 to 4 steps? Now we have 6 steps, but within each step there's like 3 or 4 steps. So that's a lot of steps. Something like that, if you think about it. But since you guys have been doing your home play all along, you won't have an issue with this. All right, here we go. Bam, let's go. All right, y'all ready? Okay. So we're gonna start slow. We're gonna do the first example together completely, all the way up to check. For the next examples, we're not going to check because we already know how to check with the area model. I just want you guys to have the entire process for at least one of them. But then after that, I just want you guys to factor so that it can go a little bit faster. We can get plenty of practice here. So copy this. Example 1. Example 1 reads, factor 2x squared plus 12x plus 10. Then after that, it says check your answer. Once again, it says, example 1, factor 2x squared plus 12x plus 10, and check your answer. All right? So, let me get this started for you guys. Here we go. Step 1, Andrew. Step 2, which is 2. That is correct. GCF is 2. Standard form is done. GCF is 2. So if we divide everything by the GCF, what do we have left? What is 2x squared divided by 2? X squared. What is 12x divided by 2? That's 6x. 10 divided by 2, that's 5. Step 3, everyone. There it is. What goes on top? The 5 is our product. 6 is our sum. So our factors for 5 are 1 times 5, and that's it. So therefore my factors are 1 and 5. Step 4, we substitute. For this one, instead of writing 6x, we're going to write 1x and 5x. So I'm going to rewrite this, x squared plus 1x plus 5x. Bring down the last term, plus 5. And now, as Jessica said, group or factor by grouping. Group. GCF here is x. We're left with x plus 1. GCF here is 5. We're left with x plus 1. Therefore, my factors are x plus 1, x plus 5. However, look up, please. Look up. Since we factored the GCF out at the beginning, what does GCF, what does the F stand for? So that's also one of the factors. So now we have 1, 2, 3 factors at the end. So check this out. Very important. Pay attention, please. From now on, here you go. So look up, please. From now on, the GCF is your BFF. So like that, you don't forget about them at the end. See, that was pretty deep, right? That was pretty deep. Here it goes again. GCF is your BFF, so don't forget about them at the end. Yes, Jessica. In these two, I mean, not really. I would like to have a constant first, but these two, yeah, it doesn't matter the order because the commutative property of multiplication allows us to do that. Yes. Yes. All right, let's check. Over here on the side, let's write check. And you draw your area model. And then we're going to start with these two first. X plus 1, x plus 5. Line down, line across. All right, let's see. What is x times x? X squared. X times 5, positive 5x. What is 1 times x? That's positive 1x. What is 1 times 5? Positive 5. Let's see. Bring this down. That's x squared. Draw your peanut. What is 5x plus 1x? That's 6x. And bring down the plus 5. Am I done? No. What did I say? At the end, don't forget about your BFF, which was 2. Distribute, distribute, distribute. We're left with 2x squared plus 12x plus 10. Did we end up with what we started here? Yes, and that's how you check. Everybody got it? Okay, so for right now, before we move on, show me what the signal how comfortable you are with these so far. Okay, 5s, 4s, 5 4s, 5 4s, and a 3, okay? So check this out. So I'm going to give you another one so you can practice by yourself. You don't need to do the check because we already know how to check, but I want you to factor all the way. We got it? All right, here we go. Example 2. There it is. Example 2 says factor negative 3x squared minus 9x minus 6. Do that by yourself. Copy that and go. All right. Look up to the screen. Here goes the process. See if you got it. GCF is in a standard form. Yes, GCF is negative 3. We end up with x squared plus 3x plus 2. From there, Power Rangers. 2 goes on top. That's our product. The middle term goes on the bottom, which is our sum. Factors of 2 that add up to 3, 1 and 2. From there, we rewrite our trinomial, x squared, but instead of 3x, what do we write? Plus 1x plus 2x, and then you bring down the third term, which is plus 2. Let's group. This is GCF is x. We're left with x plus 1. GCF is 2. We're left with x plus 1. Factors are x plus 1, x plus 2. And then we bring down our BFF, which is negative 3. These are our factors. Hands, have you got that? Okay, good. Let's do another one. Number 3. Example 3, factor negative 5x squared plus 15x plus 20. Now, for this one, look up, guys, really quick. Do you guys notice that the first term has a negative? And what did we say in the past? That if the first term has a negative, no, factor it out with your GCF. Okay? All right? Go. Copy and go. Should be just about done. All right. You're on GCF. Negative 5. We're left with x squared minus 3x. Hold on. Let me fix this. Minus 3x minus 4. Hands, if you got that so far. Okay. Our Power Rangers. Let's see. What goes as our product? Negative 4. What goes as our sum? Negative 3. Factors of 4 are 1 times 4, 2 times 2. Which one of those add and subtract to give me negative 3? 1 and 4. This tells me one of them is negative. This tells me that the biggest number of 2 is negative, so it's negative 4. We rewrite this. X squared. Negative 3x becomes this. So we're left with plus 1x minus 4x. Bring down the negative 4. Group. We got x plus 1 GCF here is negative 4, x plus 1, x plus 1 times x minus 4, and negative 5. Those are my factors. And so if you got that, okay, good. Tell me your favorites, how come you are with these so far? Okay. Last one of these easy ones, yes? Yeah? Here we go. Example number 4. Negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. Copy that and go. So, number 4. GCF. Ariana. Negative 1. Hands if you got that. That is correct. We're left with x squared plus 8x plus 12. From there, Power Rangers. We got 12 on top is our product. 8 underneath is our sum. Factors of 12 are 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Which one of those add up to 8? 2 and 6. Those are going to replace the 8x. So therefore, I end up with x squared plus 2x plus 6x plus 12. Group. We're left with x plus 2. GCF here is 6. X plus 2. My factors are x plus 2 times x plus 6 times negative 1. These are my factors. How many factors do I have at the end? 3. 1, 2, 3. Ivan, yes. Look at that.
No.
Okay. Bye. All right. So with that said, we're done with the easy stuff. Like I said, we're going to crank it up a notch. If you're paying attention, good. If not, you're probably going to get lost. Ready? Example number 5. Copy this one. Factor 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. All right. Write your utensils down. Look up to the screen. So by now you probably noticed, number 1, it is in standard form. Number 2, there is no GCF. And number 3, you couldn't factor out the 4 to give you 11. So now you're stuck. Here we go. I'm going to tweak the method that I gave you just a tiny bit so that you are able to finish factoring this. Here it goes. Oh my goodness, Connor. Step outside, please. One times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Which one of those adds up to 11? Before you copy, I only tweaked a tiny bit Tell your neighbor what I did at the beginning to make this work.
Multiply the x and the 4. Yeah, you know what I mean? It has an x, right? Okay.
All right, copy that, please. All right, here we go. So just to recap, this became this. And you said because you multiply the 6x, the coefficient of the first term times the last term, that's 6 times 4, that's 24. That is correct. Now, why did we have to do that? Let me show you really quick. Look up to the screen. What is the coefficient here? 1. What is the coefficient here? 1. What is the coefficient here? That's why we only wrote this, right? Because what is 1 times 2? What is 1 times negative 4? What is 1 times 12? That make sense? Okay. Let's move on. Number 6. See if you can do this next one by yourself now that you know the process. Example number 6. 6x squared plus 11x plus 3. Copy that and go. All right, let's see. Jessica, do we have is it a standard form? Do we have a GCF? Other than 1? No. All right, so therefore, Power Rangers, tell me what to write in the in there. 18 on top, that's our product. 11 on the bottom, that's our sum. What are our factors of 18? Okay, so it's 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, and Jessica chose 2 and 9 because they add up to 11. So tell me what to write. Hands if you got it to right there. Okay, continue, Isabella. G. Group them. First 2, last 2. GCF for these 2. 2x, we're left with 3x plus 1. GCF for these 2. 3, we're left with 3x plus 1. My factors are 3x plus 1 and 2x plus 3. These are my factors. Hands if you got that. That is correct. You know how to check in case they ask you to check, right? Okay. Now, maybe for some of you, you might have the question in your noodle, when, Mr. Q, do we write the BFF here? Well, whenever we get the BFF out from the very beginning. Did this one have a BFF? No, that's why that one doesn't have a BFF. Okay. Let's crank it up a notch. Yes? Oh. Copy this one. Example 7. Let me zoom in. 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. Factor that one. You have 45 seconds. Bless you. Copy that and go. Okay, let's see. Cooper, does this one have, it's in standard form, does it have a GCF? No. Okay, so what do I write on top of my Power Ranger? Negative 24, that is correct. And underneath? Negative 2. That's my sum. So what are factors of 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Which one of those adds or subtract to give us negative 2?
4 and 6.
Okay, 4 and 6. However, this tells me that one of them is negative, and this tells me that the biggest number is negative, so that's negative 6. Let's see. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. What is 4 plus negative 6? Negative 2. That is correct. 3x squared plus 4x minus 6x minus 8. Group. First 2, last 2. GCF here is x. We're left with 3x plus 4. GCF here is negative 2. We're left with 3x plus 4. Therefore, 3x plus 4 and x minus 2. These are my factors. And you got that? Yeah. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. So, show me the fingers, how come you are with these. Okay, so our home plate for tonight is going to be from page 546. Only do all of them. There is tutoring, and if I don't see you guys tomorrow. Bye.